Hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to PolyglotNook. It's so good to have you here with me again. Grab a cup of coffee, or tea, or whatever makes you feel comfortable. Today, I want to talk about something that I think is on a lot of our minds. Something that comes up in my direct messages, in my conversations, and even in my own quiet thoughts. It's the question of timing. The perfect time. The ideal age. For many of you, that question sounds like this: am I too old to learn English? Or maybe it's, I wish I had started when I was a kid. I get it. I really do. We look at the years behind us, at the missed chances, at the time that just slipped away. We see a number 20, 30, 40, or 50, and a little voice whispers, maybe it's too late. Maybe the ship has sailed. And I'm here to tell you, my dear friends, that this is simply not true. That number on your birthday cake doesn't define your ability to learn. It doesn't put a stop sign on your intellectual highway. The truth is, our brains are incredible. They are flexible. They are resilient. They are designed to learn, to grow, and to adapt. They are a powerful tool, and they continue to form new connections throughout our entire lives. Every day. Every year. So, let's put that idea to rest, shall we? There is no perfect age to learn a new language. The perfect age is right now. Now, that doesn't mean everyone learns in the exact same way. Of course not. A 4-year-old child and a 50-year-old adult will approach the process differently. Each age group has its own unique strengths, its own set of advantages. And if you know what those are, you can use them to your benefit. So, today, I want to explore this with you. We'll look at 3 different stages of life, from childhood to adulthood, and see how each one is perfectly suited for language acquisition. We'll also talk about a few of my favorite people who prove this point better than I ever could. Let's start with the little ones. I remember my niece, Emma, when she was about 6 years old. She's a tiny little thing, but her mind is like a sponge. One time, she came over, and I was watching a children's show in English. It was one of those animated series with colorful characters and catchy songs. At first, she just sat there, humming along. But then, she started to ask questions. "Uncle, what is that?" she'd say, pointing to a blue car. "It's a car," I'd tell her. And she'd repeat it, car. Then, she'd see a bird on the screen and say, "Is that a bird?" Her curiosity was boundless. She wasn't worried about grammar rules or verb conjugations. She was just taking in the world. Her brain was making connections between the sounds, the images, and the feelings. This is the greatest advantage children have, their curiosity and their incredible ability to absorb. A child's brain is like a blank notebook waiting to be filled. They don't analyze. They don't overthink. They just listen and imitate. The key for this age group is to make it a game, not a chore. My friend, Sophia, is a teacher for young kids, and she tells me all the time that the best lessons are the ones that don't feel like lessons. It's about singing songs, reading picture books with bright illustrations, watching cartoons, and using flashcards. It's all about play. Another thing children are fantastic at is pronunciation. An adult who tries to learn a new language often struggles with a foreign accent. It can be difficult to unlearn old habits. But for a child, it's different. They are masters of imitation. They hear a sound and they repeat it perfectly. They can develop a native-like accent just by listening and repeating, without ever needing to worry about the mechanics. They sing a song in English and just like that, they're practicing vowel sounds and rhythm. They don't even realize they're learning. It's all just fun. This is why, if you have children or younger siblings, you have a beautiful opportunity. You can give them the gift of a new language by making it a part of their world. Let them watch their favorite animated movies in English. Find some children's songs online. Read them a storybook before bed. You don't need to be a teacher. You just need to be a guide, a partner in their play. You can give them a head start and open up a world of possibilities for them. And trust me, they'll thank you for it later. And so, we move on to the next group. These are the students. You've got students in middle school, high school, and university. This is a really interesting age group because they are at a crossroads. They are no longer just absorbing information like little kids. Their minds are still incredibly flexible, their memories are sharp, but they're also motivated by something new: goals. They want to get good grades. They want to pass an exam. They want to get into a good university or a prestigious program. They want to land a cool internship or a new job. These clear objectives are a powerful driving force. I remember my friend Olivia when she was in university. She was studying computer science, a very logical and demanding field. But she had a big, clear goal: to study abroad in Canada for a semester. For her, English wasn't just a subject in school. It was a key that would unlock a door to her future. That purpose gave her a motivation that was much stronger than just getting a good grade on a test. The grades were just a small step on a much larger path. So, she started to integrate English into her life in a way that was personal to her. She didn't just study grammar books. She used her passions. Olivia loved watching movies. So, she started watching all her favorite films in English with English subtitles. At first, it was a little hard, and she had to pause a lot to look up words. But after a few weeks, she was able to follow the story much more easily. She also loved video games, especially role-playing games where you could interact with other players. So, she switched the language on her games to English. She would talk to her friends about her favorite characters, but she'd try to do it in English. She even joined a small online group of students who were also trying to learn English. They would play games together and try to communicate, and it was a fun way to practice. This is the best approach for this age group: connect the language to their interests. If a student is into comics, they can read them in English. If they love a certain animated show, they can watch it in English. If they're into a specific video game, they can switch the language settings. When you connect learning to something you already love, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like an extension of what you already enjoy. And this helps them understand that English is not just a school subject. It's a real tool that you can use to explore the world, to watch your favorite shows, and to connect with others who share your interests. That kind of understanding is a powerful motivator. Of course, at this age, you can also start to introduce more formal learning. The logical and systematic thinking is well developed, so students can handle theory. They can learn grammar rules and apply them in practice. It's a great combination of both worlds: the playful and exploratory nature of childhood learning, combined with the focused, goal-oriented approach of a young adult. But the key is to always find a way to make it personal and relevant. Because that's what turns learning into a genuine, meaningful part of your life. And now, let's talk about the adults. And so, we get to what I think is the most interesting group of all. Adults. From my experience, this is the very best time to learn a new language. You might be surprised to hear me say that, but it's true. Because as adults, we have a different kind of power. We have the ability to think logically and systematically. We can structure information. We can understand a concept and then break it down into smaller parts. We know how to filter out what's not important and focus on what is. We also have something else that no child or teenager has: life experience. We've been through a lot. We've had a lot of different experiences. We have stories. And we can use all of that to make connections, to give context to what we are learning. We learn more efficiently and faster than anyone else. We can process any information quickly, not just a new language. Of course, there is one big challenge for adults. And that is life. We have careers. We have families. We have responsibilities. We have habits and hobbies. Sometimes, it feels like there just isn't any time to learn a new language. We have to actively find the time. We have to make a choice. Maybe we get up a little earlier in the morning or stay up a little later at night. But again, this is where having a clear purpose becomes so important. When an adult decides to learn English, it's usually for a reason. Maybe they want a promotion at work. Maybe they want to travel abroad. Maybe they have a long-term business trip coming up. These goals are incredibly powerful. They give you the will, the determination, to make it happen. They are the key factors that help you learn quickly. My friend Mike is a great example of this. He's in his early 30s and he works as a building manager for a big apartment complex. For years, he thought he couldn't learn English. He was so busy with his job and with his family. But then, an opportunity came up at work. A team from a big international company was coming to his city, and they needed a local expert to help with a new project. Mike knew the building and the local industry better than anyone. The only problem was that the team only spoke English. Mike decided right there that he would learn. He didn't have a lot of time, so he focused on the most important things. He found a teacher and told her his goal was to be able to talk about his work, about the materials, and about the project schedule. That was it. He didn't waste time on anything else. He learned the vocabulary and grammar that he would need for his job. He learned to have simple conversations. And you know what? It worked. He got the job, and now he is learning even more. But the key was having that clear, practical goal. And this is especially true for people over 45. Maybe your mind's flexibility and your memory aren't as quick as they were in your 20s, but your mind is just as sharp. You have an incredible ability to learn, to analyze, and to set goals. You can use your willpower to get to your objective. The one thing I've noticed with my students over 50 is that they have a long-term mindset. They aren't in a rush. They're not learning for a test next month. They understand that a new language is a 2 or 3 year process, not a 2 or 3 month one. They're learning for themselves, for their own joy. They plan out their learning and they follow through. They don't give up. I have a specific story from one of our teachers at our school. Her name is Emily. She has a student named Julia, who is 60 years old. Julia was worried because her grandson, who was born in Australia, was starting to get older, and she wanted to be able to talk to him. So, she decided to learn English. Emily has been teaching Julia for almost 2 years now. They only meet one time a week. But even with that, Julia has made amazing progress. Emily told me that she thinks it's because of Julia's self-discipline. She is so organized. She always does her homework. For her, missing a lesson is a disaster. Emily says that compared to her other students, Julia is especially good at listening. She can even handle listening exercises that are a higher level than her current skills. Emily thinks that Julia's musical education helps her understand what she hears. Julia has a very modern attitude toward life and is interested in a lot of things. They read articles and news from English language sources together. Emily says that Julia is a rare example of a student who learns a language just for the pure pleasure of it. Emily believes that with this kind of motivation, Julia will easily reach the next level. I have a lot of students who are over 50, and I can tell you that the ones who succeed are not just the ones who set a goal. They are the ones who enjoy the process of getting there. They find pleasure in the little victories. They find joy in using a new word for the first time. They find happiness in understanding a new song or a movie. So, my dear friends, I hope that after hearing this, you understand that it is never too late to learn a new language. You can do it at any age. The most important thing is to set a goal. And to use the right methods. Because that's what makes all the difference. You have the power inside of you to do this. You have the drive and the will. I want to thank you all for spending this time with me. I am truly grateful that you are a part of this community. I'm so happy that we can learn and grow together. If you liked what you heard today, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you have a friend who is also trying to learn English, share this episode with them. Maybe it will give them the encouragement they need to keep going. So, my dear friends, I send you my warmest greetings. I hug you all, even from afar. Keep learning, keep speaking, and keep connecting. Remember, each step, no matter how small, brings you closer to mastery. Thank you again. All of you, I embrace warmly. Take care, and until next time, goodbye.